when the sun comes. I feel like you're up to something. Felt that you're up to something.
Sorry, I know it's late. Ruggy told me you can't sleep. But man, do you look exhausted, Bunny. Let me help, please. So, I thought reading a bedtime story could help you relax. But first, let me get you settled, alright? Would you like me to cuddle you? Or at least let you lay on my chest? Yeah? Okay. Come here, sweetheart. Okay. Do you want a Disney bedtime story? Yes? Alright. Which one? Aha! Here we go. Disney Bedtime Favorites by Disney Press. Which story, though? There's so many in this book. Oh, watch Doug. Doug bonded over some rocks, scrambled up a hill, and crossed a little stream. The golden retriever was looking for a spot to camp for the night. Following him were his friends Carl and Russell. Doug had met them in South America when Carl and Russell were on an adventure. Now they were having another adventure, a campout. Around his neck, Doug wore a high-tech collar that helped him speak to humans. "Find the spot, find the spot," he chanted out loud. Suddenly, Doug saw a good place. "Point!" he shouted. He froze and pointed towards a clearing ahead. It had trees on 3 sides, and a beautiful view across the valley. Carl put down their picnic basket. Next to it, he placed a jug of lemonade. "Okay, Russell, let's set up those tents of yours," he said. The day had been full of new sights and sounds. Carl, Russell, and Doug had hiked along a trail, climbed to a beautiful overlook. But now the day was over, and the sun was setting. Carl and Russell put up tents and unrolled their sleeping bags. They cooked dinner over the campfire, and afterward they roasted marshmallows. Soon, Russell began to yawn. It was bedtime. His eyes half closed. Russell started to walk towards his tent. "Hey, look at this," Russell shouted. On the ground just past the campfire was a trail of paw prints. "I wonder what kind of animal made these," Carl said, looking at the tracks. "I'll check my Wilderness Explorer manual," Russell said. But Carl shook his head. "Bedtime," he instructed. "I will keep watch all night," Doug explained. Doug was proud to have such an important job. He was going to be a super watchdog. While Carl and Russell went to bed, Doug sat outside the tents, all still as a statue. As still as a statue. But wait. What was that by the oak tree? A squirrel? Doug charged toward the tree and tripped over a rope on Russell's tent. Part of the tent collapsed. Doug hung his head. He hadn't meant for that to happen. Doug slunk back to his watch spot. He made one mistake, but that could happen to any watchdog. Suddenly, a bat swooped down over the clearing. Doug jumped in surprise. He accidentally knocked over the jug of lemonade behind him, and it spilt on the ground. Embarrassed, Doug went to stand guard near Carl's tent. Doug watched as the moon traveled across the night sky. What was that noise? Doug snuck across the clearing, keeping low to the ground. He spotted fresh paw prints in the dirt. Then he saw a shadow near a tree. Something was prowling. It was rummaging. Doug barked. The intruder turned towards him. It was a raccoon, and it was trying to get their food. "Move away from the basket," Doug said. "That is our breakfast." The raccoon grabbed a string of sausages in its mouth. Doug took the other end. He tugged, the raccoon tugged. Doug tugged harder, and finally the raccoon let go. Doug had won. Defeated, the raccoon scampered away. Doug triumphantly carried the sausages back to the picnic basket. They were a little roughed up and dirty. A couple of leaves were stuck to the slobbery parts, but he was sure Carl and Russell wouldn't mind. Doug was proud of himself. He had spotted the intruder in the dark and scared it away. He had even saved breakfast. He felt like a pro watchdog. Soon, the sky started to lighten and the stars began to fade. Doug was very sleepy. His eyes felt so heavy, and his paws felt so heavy. Ears and nose and tail were so heavy, too. But he couldn't give up standing guard now. It was almost morning. Doug put his head down on his paws. He would rest for just a moment, and then go back to keeping watch. Resting his head felt nice. Maybe he should rest his eyes for a minute too. It was getting harder and harder to keep them open. Doug fell asleep. A few minutes later, Carl came out of his tent. He no longer slept as much as he used to. Carl looked around the clearing. He noticed Russell's tent and heard the boy still snoring. He saw the dirty sausages sticking out of the picnic basket and the jug of lemonade on its side. Carl sat next to Doug. Doug opened one eye. "I found him. I found the creature that made the paw prints," he said. "Yes, I heard you," Carl said. He gave Doug a pat on the head. "Good dog. Good Doug." Together, Doug and Carl watched the sunrise over the misty valley. And that is the end of our story for tonight. Feeling sleepy yet? Oh, you're asleep. Well, I guess I can stay a little longer.